everyone, and welcome to a Halloween edition of Taryne's Fact or Fiction.
Thank God. I love the Halloween edition.
You love it, Ash?
I do.
Ash, what was the most commercially successful horror film of all time?
Commercially?
Commercially successful.
Horror. I'm going to go with The Exorcism.
No. Do you want to keep guessing or do you want me to just tell you?
I'm going to go with Rosemary's Baby.
Meh. One more guess, and you're out.
I'm going to go with The Conjuring. Okay, I don't know.
It.
Oh.
Yes. Here's a question. Is there anything more precious than the safety of you or your loved ones? Of course not. So isn't it strange that not all home security companies truly put you first? Old school home security companies set you up with outdated technology, overcharge you for service, and lock you into binding multi-year contracts. That's why we use and trust Simply Safe Home Security. Simply Safe protects you with cutting-edge security technology powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who always have your back.
I love Simply Safe. I cannot stress this enough, especially when it comes to October series and having trouble sleeping. I don't sleep well unless I have a security system, and Simply Safe makes me feel like I can actually sleep confidently without having to worry about any kind of mishap happening in my house. With 24/7 professional monitoring, Simply Safe's agents call you the moment a threat is detected and dispatch police for first responders in an emergency, even if you're not home or can't be reached. Simply Safe blankets your home in protection with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door, HD security cameras for inside and outside your home, smarter ways to detect motion that only alert you when the threat is real, which is a big game changer, and even hazard sensors that instantly detect fires, floods, and other threats to your home.
Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplysafe.com/advice. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplysafe.com/advice. There's no safe like Simply Safe. Today's episode is brought to you by Canva. Creating visual content is an essential part of what we do, but the creative process hasn't always been easy. There are times where I have an idea of what I want to do, but the technicality of following that through is just, it's very hit or miss.
Difficult.
You know? Yeah. But ever since we found Canva for Teams, it has been easy to collaborate and design with our team, which makes the whole process so much more creative and fun.
Canva for Teams is a design platform that makes it easy for anyone to create stunning content in any format, from social media posts to videos, presentations, and websites. The endless templates and premium fonts, photos, graphics, and videos add personality and edge to my team's content. Canva for Teams streamlines how we do social media too. We can plan, create, and share social media content directly to all of our channels from one place, and even schedule posts ahead of time, which is such a huge time saver for me, especially having multiple things to post for. Being able to schedule it and let it do its thing is game changing. Between my podcast, my YouTube channel, and my clothing company, I have used Canva every single time because I love their templates. Their templates are game changing when it comes to creating brand new content. Whenever you're kind of like stuck and not really knowing what to create, grab one of their templates and that'll at least get the juices flowing for you to create something amazing.
Collaborate with Canva for Teams. Right now, you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you go to canva.me/advice. That's canva.me/advice for a free 45-day extended trial. Canva.me/advice. So I feel like we learn as kids, like you gotta work hard to earn fun, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Like do your homework, then you can watch TV, all those things. But you've already earned some fun, so you might as well have it. It's like giving yourself permission to eat dessert first. With Best Fiends, an exciting puzzle adventure game, you can have fiendish fun anywhere, anytime.
Best Fiends is a free-to-download mobile puzzle game with thousands of exciting levels for new adventures and challenges every time you play. There are dozens of unique fiends to collect, so you can customize your team of fiends to defeat menacing slugs. With offline play, you'll never be stranded without fun, even if you lose your internet connection. And that's why I love Best Fiends the most, because there have been multiple situations where I've had no Wi-Fi and I've been bored out of my mind. Specifically, I'm thinking planes, sitting on the tarmac. And I had Best Fiends to play, which is amazing. I'm now on level 75, so y'all better catch up.
Girl.
Catch up.
You've earned your fun time. Go to the App Store or Google Play to download Best Fiends for free. Plus, earn even more with $5 worth of in-game rewards when you reach level 5. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends. It is from Stephen King, which I didn't know.
Yes.
I've never seen it because I'm terrified of those kind of movies. But 700 million.
Oh my God.
700 million.
I wonder if
381,000.
if it's got to be something about it being a clown.
That's a classic.
It's one
fear.
of those, like, yes, it's scary. It's also still like more in like
Yeah.
the unrealistic category, so maybe more people could watch that versus
Also,
like, you know, exorcisms.
Yeah. 2017. Like that, I feel like too, like with social media, like growing and all this stuff, like it probably just
maybe it was like on
hit
the
at like the perfect time.
Cusp.
Also, remember when all those like killer clowns? Do you remember all the clowns that were like hiding around for a while?
Yeah.
Why was that a thing?
Oh my God.
Totally forgot
It's kind
about
of
that.
crazy that you say that, because one of my stories had something to do with that.
Oh crap! About clowns?
Oh no.
Ashley, you know that's one of my biggest
no.
fears. Why would you do that? Oh, no. Okay, well, welcome to the show, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing,
Hey,
Ash?
I'm doing so good.
You
How are you
are?
doing, Taryne?
I'm good.
I think Taryne's doing a little better than good. Do you want to just share your good news now?
So I was on the news this morning, casually, on a channel in Texas, Fox 26, Houston. And I guess, so the producer, which like we talked a little bit before the interview, her son has been really into like asking her for Legos. So she was like, you know how your phone's always listening. So then when she was scrolling through TikTok, my TikTok came up about Legos. And so then she reached out, and it was cute because she said she like brought me up again to her son. And he was like, oh, Mom, like, are you going to get her on the show? And she was like, I already got her on the show. And so like,
Cute.
it was just like super cute. So anyway, so yeah, they interviewed me about Legos. I completely blacked out, but we watched it back and it wasn't too bad.
Right. We just watched it back. It was incredible. She did a phenomenal job.
Thank you, guys.
Go check out Fox Houston
26. We'll post a link if y'all want to watch it.
They called her the famous TikToker, the Lego TikToker, famous Lego TikToker.
Apparently, I'm
Her
famous,
full name.
y'all.
Yeah,
TikToker, the TikToker.
I love it. I love it. It's so good.
It was very fun, but it was also terrifying. And the screen was blank, which was really hard because I feed off of people. Like, remember when I did the solo episode, I freaked out because I was like, I don't know who to talk to.
Yeah, where do you put your eyes?
Yeah, like
and
even
like,
when we
do
watched,
you smile?
Yeah, when we watched it back, I'm like, oh, they were so like friendly looking and like smiling. Like, I feel like I would have felt more comfortable if I saw that.
Yeah.
But it was still such a cool expwhat Like,
I love that for you.
Thanks, Ash.
Look at you,
Thanks.
our little Taryne Renee,
Thanks.
blossoming.
Thanks. What about you, Miss Independent?
Oh my God, yeah. I moved out and things are going good. It is definitely different, and I was way more emotional than I thought I was going to be about leaving. For those of you that don't know, I've lived with my sister obviously my whole life, and other than Taryne having lived with us, I've never lived with anyone else. I've never lived alone. So all of those things, it's so weird how you can want something and like dream about something and think about it like all the time and like want it so bad, and then it finally hits and you're like, wait.
You're like, wait, did I want this?
Yeah. Like I spent the last month and a half like preparing, like we had our sister dinner together, like we did all these things, and I still was like,
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is so weird. So it's going to be an adjustment period, but I am in love with my place.
Yeah.
And I love how it's coming together. Like, it's not there yet, but obviously it's on its way, and I can see the vision, and I'm very excited for when it gets there.
No, literally, if you guys haven't watched her videos, you should watch them. But
I second
it's like even the building stripped down to just like what she walked in when it was empty is so Ashley Nicole. Like it's so your aesthetic. So I really think like you're just gonna thrive once you get comfortable. But
exactly.
I think it's good to. I don't think people prep for transitions because you just assume, oh, this is exciting. It's going to be so fun. But
I was just so looking forward to it. I think the emotions caught me off guard because I was so ready to move.
Yeah.
That I was like, wait, why am I sad?
Yeah. Why am I crying right now?
What's happening? I don't get it. But yeah, transitional period. Everyone pray for me.
Yes. You got this, girl.
But yeah. It's been exciting. Yeah. Exciting times. Yeah. And October series, the best time to be alive.
Yeah.
We are sporting, if you watch us on YouTube, we are sporting our merch. That is super cool. Obviously, because we're super cool.
Yeah.
It's our artwork logo, basically, but we're skeletons.
Yeah, we are.
And it says, guess we're not sleeping tonight. And it's really cute. And it's available now. And it is not too late to buy them. So hop on over. We have everything posted on our Instagram, which, by the way, if you're not following us on Instagram, stop what you're doing. Drop everything and follow us on Instagram because that's imperative.
Can we just say our Instagram has been looking mighty fine.
Mighty fine.
Mighty fine.
Fine.
So you should follow, and
we're a good follow.
Yeah, we're a good time. We're a good time.
Okay, we know.
Okay, everyone's like, shut up and get into the scary stories already.
Well, I have a question.
Oh, okay.
Oh, wait.
What?
No. Do we do 2?
Sure, let's just do it and see what happens.
I think we do 2 because I have a good shorty too.
Yeah, let's just do it.
Okay.
I'll start with mine because I think is yours scary?
Scary, yeah.
Okay.
More realistic.
Ooh, I don't like that, but okay. Yeah, I'll start with mine. So I got a Taryne It Up October series.
Amazing.
Excited about this. So let's start with that. If you guys don't know, for October series, we're still doing Taryne It Ups. If you have like funny stories that were like, I thought I was going to die, but it actually was my neighbor, you know, like that kind of stuff. If not, we're also doing just short, scary stories. So send in short, scary stories or funny, scary stories.
Yes, please.
This is from Adriana. She says, hey, ladies, this is the story of how the scariest night of my life turned into a Taryne It Up. I love that.
Oh, no.
I love that.
No.
Taryne It Up, bringing joy.
Yeah.
Instead
At
of pain.
every time of the year.
Yeah. Okay. My name is Adriana. I'm an Enneagram 8 from Peru, and I love your podcast. Okay, I'll start right away with my story. It was Halloween night. I had just come back from watching scary movies from my friend's house. We watched The Nightmare on Elm Street and The Conjuring. Literally,
those are heavy ones.
Don't watch scary movies at all. Like, every time people talk about scary movies, I'm like, what's that about?
It's so funny what we do.
I know.
You know.
Well, true crime, I like the podcast, and sometimes I can do movies. Well, no, I can do it because I watch like scary shows.
I think the difference is you and I love like a suspenseful thriller. We don't love like horror. I have a hard time with horror.
I don't like.
I don't watch horror. Yeah. I love a suspenseful thriller. I figured it out.
Okay, cool. Okay, 2 important details about each movie. In The Nightmare of Elm Street, the villain has the ability to enter people's dreams and kill them. Again, another giant fear. And in The Conjuring, the devil's hour is 3:15. Okay. So since
I've actually seen both.
Really?
Which is funny because I just said I don't do horror, but I have seen both of those.
Okay. So since I had just learned that I'm not safe even in my dreams, I decided to listen to a podcast and just doze off. Knock, knock. I was disoriented and heard a knock. Impossible. It's just me being paranoid. Knock, knock. A little louder this time. So I'm not dreaming. I'm now fully awake. I check my phone, and guess what time it is?
devil's hour.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
3:15 on the dot.
I was like 3 something.
What are the odds?
Yeah. I hate that.
I'm not imagining this. Not only was this an eerie coincidence, but I live in the 4th story of a very secure building, so the knocking is terrifying.
Right.
That's it. Like, my building is so secure, like, nobody's knocking on my door unless I know that they're coming. Like, it's just not.
Like, it must be your next door neighbor.
At 3:15 in the morning?
Yeah. Like, you would think
terrifying.
it's an emergency.
Exactly.
If not something horrifying.
Exactly. I decided to do the only thing I could think of and call my dad, and it went straight to voicemail. Okay, so my dad is obviously dead now. I love the way she writes is the way, like, I think
it's so
sometimes.
clear.
Yeah.
He's dead.
I call my mom. Voicemail. She's dead too.
We're all about to die.
At this time, the knocking had become full-on banging on the door, windows vibrating, and even doorbell ringing. Then my dad called me. I answered relieved, but it wasn't my dad. It was my baby brother. He asked me, where's dad, and what was happening. I told him, lock himself in the room with mom, and dad is probably possessed or dead.
I hope you didn't tell your. I hope you didn't actually say that.
Did.
But I understand why you possibly did.
Okay. So I hear my mom's voice in the background, angry, asking what's going on, and I heard footsteps going towards the door. I screamed no. It was 4 a.m. at this point. My mom goes to the door and opens it, and it was my dad. Turns out he was sleepwalking and went out of the apartment into the hall and only woke up when the door slammed shut, which was also the noise that woke me up. And he had been standing outside of the apartment in his underwear knocking, and I was fully convinced someone was trying to murder us.
Right.
So that was the scariest night of my life, and now my parents' favorite story to tell. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm so pumped for October series. Thank you for everything you do and for continuing to inspire me every Monday. Love, Adriana.
Oh my God, that is so good. Dude, sleepwalking is no joke.
No.
I only sleepwalked. There was like a 1 year of my life where I was a sleepwalker.
Wait, I didn't know that.
I was little. I was little. It was at my parents' old house, and I must have been like 8 maybe. And
Okay.
I specifically, like, I somehow went from my room, which was the farthest room in the upstairs hallway, walked all the way down the hallway and down the stairs and triggered the alarm. And I remember waking up to the alarm on the stairs, freaking out because the sound was so loud.
Yeah.
And like running and hiding on the couch until my dad came.
Yeah.
And like turned the alarm off and grabbed me. And he was like, what are you doing? And I was like, I don't know. I even had I had a friend whose brother notoriously sleepwalked. Like, it was something that they all knew to expect and look out for. And he even like walked outside at one point. Like, he unlocked the front door and walked out.
I think I told you, Ryan, he was at least, I would say like 3 or 4, because he still slept in like a pull-up. Mm-hmm. And my parents lived down this like really long like cul-de-sac kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And my mom was woken up to someone in our house yelling, hello, hello. And she went out, and our neighbor was holding my little brother, who was just in a pull-up. And they had happened, it was total God thing. They had happened to be coming back from a party late at night. Like, this was like after midnight. Oof. And they went to turn, and
he was there.
They looked ahead, and they were like, is that a baby? And it was Ryan. He had gone out of the door all the way down the cul-de-sac and was like going to like the main street. And they happened to be driving. Like, if they hadn't.
Oh my God.
I know. And so they brought him in, and my mom said she sat the entire night just sobbing, holding him, because she was like a mess.
Because
isn't that scary?
It's like, no, you didn't know it happened, but then all of the things that could have happened start flooding your mind. And
oh my gosh.
Oh my God, that's so scary.
Yeah, so we had those alarms for a long time that like
the like
like
door
if the door
opens,
it's it's because everyone was terrified he was gonna like get lost.
Yeah,
so scary.
And like, you come out that street, it's a busy street.
Yeah.
Oh, I hate that.
I know.
I'm so glad he's alive. Next time I see him, I hug him. I'm like, oh, you're alive.
If I do that, he'll be like, get off. Here's Here's a question. Is there anything more precious than the safety of you or your loved ones? Of course not. So isn't it strange that not all home security companies truly put you first? Old school home security companies set you up with outdated technology, overcharge you for service, and lock you into binding multi-year contracts. That's why we use and trust SimpliSafe Home Security. SimpliSafe protects you with cutting-edge security technology powered by 24/7 professional monitoring agents who always have your back. And here's why we love it.
With 24/7 professional monitoring, SimpliSafe's agents call you the moment a threat is detected and dispatch police for first responders in an emergency, even if you're not home or can't be reached. SimpliSafe blankets your home in protection with advanced sensors for every room, window, and door, HD security cameras for inside and outside your home, smarter ways to detect motion that only alert you when the threat is real, which is a big game changer, and even hazard sensors that instantly detect fires, floods, and other threats to your home. Their monitoring experts use proprietary advanced response technology to visually confirm when a break-in is real, so you can get the highest priority police dispatch. I love SimpliSafe. I cannot stress this enough, especially when it comes to October series and having trouble sleeping. I don't sleep well unless I have a security system, and SimpliSafe makes me feel like I can actually sleep confidently without having to worry about any kind of mishap happening in my house.
Customize the perfect system for your home in just a few minutes at simplisafe.com/advice. Go today and claim a free indoor security camera plus 20% off with interactive monitoring. Go to simplisafe.com/advice. There's no safe like SimpliSafe. Today's episode is brought to you by Indeed. You know there's a fantastic person out there who will improve your business. The trick is just how to find them. For a hiring partner that helps you reach new heights, you need Indeed.
Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. Hate waiting? Indeed's U.S. data shows over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job. As you guys know, I have a small business of my own, and when it came to hiring members, it can get really stressful and it can get very, chaotic when it comes to finding exactly what you're looking for in an employee. The thing I love most about Indeed is that it makes hiring all in one place super easy. You don't make your candidates jump through hoops. Indeed's virtual interview tool means that there's nothing to download. Just click and talk. And with virtual interviews, Indeed saves you time. You can message, schedule, and interview top talent all in one place. And Indeed makes it super easy to connect with your applicants. No need to install anything extra. Indeed's virtual interview tool works from your browser.
Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why when you sponsor a job, you only pay for quality applications from resumes in our database matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/unsolicited to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/unsolicited. Indeed.com/unsolicited. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed.
Okay, well, just in the spirit of all things October series, I'm going to read a shorty.
Do it.
It's a very detailed shorty, but it is so worth it because I was on the edge of my seat. Okay. I'm going to get into it. This one is titled, Let's Play a Prank on Your Dad.
Okay.
Hi, Ashley and Taryne. I love you guys and the podcast and would be so thrilled if you guys read my story. My name is Genevieve and I'm 16 years old. This story took place when I was 13 years old. Hope you enjoy this shorter story. My dad and I were on a road trip to the mountains. It was sunny and beautiful. The trip of my dreams suddenly started to become my biggest nightmare, starting with my dad's car overheating. This left us on the side of a desert road an hour away from the closest small town. After hours of trying to get a hold of a towing company, we were told from AAA it would be a 6-hour wait. That's when my mom called us, telling us that she had found a small towing company in Lone Pine that could come get us, which we've been to Lone Pine before. It's a very small, it's on the way to Mammoth.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's a very small town in the middle of absolutely nowhere.
So scary.
And it's the one with the museum. We stopped and got McDonald's.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, yes. That was so scary.
Yeah. Especially at night. Like, it just feels very, like, it feels very empty. It feels very eerie. And then again, cannot reiterate this enough. It's in the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah, that's
it's unsettling is what it is. Continuing on, a tall, older, small farm town looking man shows up with a very old tow truck, telling us to stay in the car and drive up onto the top of the tow truck's bed. You know how you can like lower it and the car will drive up?
Oh, they got to do it? That's cool. I've always wanted to do that.
He was friendly and showed interest in helping us. We drove an hour and arrived to the tow garage. We came up with a plan, and my dad asked the driver if he could drive us to Bishop, where we arranged a rental car. We handed him the cash he requested, loaded all of our stuff into his car, and headed on an hour drive in the hands of this complete stranger. His car had a musty smell, and the seats felt rough, and it had a really old blue exterior. When we got to the rental car company, they were not there, and there was no car waiting for us. This is when I started to panic. We were abandoned in the middle of nowhere, 6 hours away from our destination. Our driver suggested a hotel, so he drove us to the nearest one and told my dad to get out and check for the availability. My dad, tired and frazzled, got out of the car and walked into the hotel, apparently thinking that I'd follow him.
She stayed in the truck with the man? Oh, dear God.
I started to unbuckle to get out when the man says, "You stay here and just let your dad run in." That is when I quickly got a bad gut feeling, realizing I was alone with this man in his car. My fearful thoughts were interrupted by him asking, "Do you want to play a prank on your dad?" Being 13 and completely innocent, I replied, "What do you mean?" And he went on to say, "Let's go on a drive so when he comes out, you're not here."
Are you freaking kidding me?
And he continues and says, "It'll be fun." That's when you immediately like break the door and just run out, because I can't believe he literally told her that he was going to kidnap her, because that's what it is. That's Taryne's face right now.
That makes me sick to my stomach.
I know. This is when I broke out in the cold, hot sweats and my heart was beating out of my chest. I grabbed my phone to call my dad when I looked down and realized the battery was dead. I stuttered out, "I don't think he'll like that." And then he replied, "Are you sure?" I looked up and my eyes were met with his terrifyingly deceiving eyes in the rearview mirror looking at me.
Ew.
My whole body was telling me to get out. I went to open the door and run when it locked. I heard the click of the gear shift and time stopped as my entire body felt numb. My heart was beating out of my chest when I looked to see my dad running out of the hotel, and I yelled, "There's my dad." My dad saw the fear in my face and had me get out of the car, and he unloaded all of our stuff immediately. I find myself thinking sometimes of what would have happened if the timing of my dad coming out was seconds later. My dad had told me he felt an immediate bad feeling when he got into the hotel and didn't comprehend yet that I hadn't followed him out of the car, which is why he ran out. Thanks for listening to my short story. Love you guys. Happy Halloween.
I hate that.
Isn't that
so much
terrifying?
Oh my gosh.
And I don't mean to like talk bad about small towns, but like that's exactly what I would picture happening in the middle of nowhere, in the middle of nowhere town. Like it's so scary. And I understand, like, obviously you don't leave your kid in the car with a stranger, but I understand her dad accidentally doing that because everything was going wrong that day. He probably just assumed she was following, but.
Well, and I mean, it probably felt like an eternity to her, but those were only like a couple sentences exchanged.
Yeah,
he
probably
literally walked in and then ran back out.
Yeah.
So props to your dad for being a good dad, but the fact that he locked the door, like I think he was like seconds away from driving away.
She said she heard the gear shift. So he
And,
locked the door and put it in reverse.
He knows the dad doesn't have a car to chase after him.
Nothing.
Like,
Dad had literally nothing in his corner to like fight that guy or chase after that guy.
I hope they reported him. That's so scary.
I know, that's terrifying. And like they're the dad and the daughter clearly in such a vulnerable position. That's so like it's just not fair to take advantage of that.
My poor future children. They can't look, talk to, smile at anyone.
Yeah.
Never.
I remember being I had multiple fights with my mom because I couldn't go to sleepovers.
Yeah.
And I would be so upset. Every girl in my class was allowed to spend the night except for me. And I remember asking her why, and she'd be like, "'Cause I said so." Like that was her only reasoning. And it wasn't until much later where I could have a actual conversation with her that she'd be like, "I don't know the dad."
But see, I think
sometimes it's the mom, obviously, but she was like, "I don't know the parents. I don't know the house. I don't know the neighborhood. You're not staying there." And my kids.
But even from like when we were little to like now, it's so much more of an issue. At least like people are talking about it more.
I was going to say, I think people talk about it more.
And so now it's like, no, like you have to talk to your kids so young and like tell your kids like, no, we don't have secrets. Like we don't have surprises because people manipulate kids. We'll be fine.
We'll get through
this is just a secret. Like this is a surprise. Don't tell it. Oh no. That's so scary. I'm so glad you're alive.
I know, me too.
Wow.
Terrifying.
Well, I'm not going to make anyone feel any better with my story now.
There is no positive note coming in our future.
This is going to ruin everyone's lives. I'm just throwing it out there.
Oh, no.
So if you don't want to be scared to go to sleep tonight, don't listen.
Oh, no.
What if our views just like dropped?
Oh, no.
Everyone's like, bye.
Oh, no.
Okay. I'm not going to... should I read? No, I'm not going to read. I'm not going to read the title. Are you ready, Ash?
Yes, ma'am.
Good thing I'm sleeping over tonight.
Thank God.
I'm going to be like,
I would not have survived. I literally would not have survived.
Literally. Okay. Hey, Ash and Taryne. I am a longtime listener, and your October series is always the highlight of my spooky season.
Same.
Literally honored.
I'm glad you get it.
Spooky season's like a big deal.
Yeah.
So
kind of a huge deal.
Thank you. Okay, my name is Kim. I'm 29 and am married to a wonderful man who is Filipino. This story was told to me by my mother-in-law, who recently went to visit her family in the Philippines. We love chatting about all things supernatural and spooky, so when she told me this one, I had to share it. So brace yourself.
Oof. Oof.
I hate it because I don't even want to read these stories over again. So I'm like, oh. Okay. Before she left for her trip, my mother-in-law received several concerning phone calls from family members who lived in the Philippines. My husband's grandmother lives alone in a large house in the center of their town. And due to COVID, nobody had really been allowed to visit her since she's almost 90 years old. His grandmother would constantly call family members who live locally in the middle of the night. They said that when she called, she was often out of breath and sounded terrified as she told them that someone was in the house. Anyone who went to check on her would search the house and find nothing. She speaks of it so often that family members have gotten concerned she might be experiencing night terrors or perhaps early onset dementia.
Oof.
Since things with COVID have started to lift over there, my mother-in-law was finally able to plan a trip to visit. She decided to stay in the house with her mom since it has 4 unoccupied bedrooms and lots of room for entertaining. On our first night there, several people came over to the house to say hello. Before leaving the house, her brothers and sisters warned her that she might not get sleep due to the nightmares her mom has been having. She told them all it would be okay and she would check on her if she heard anything. That night, as she got ready for bed, she heard shuffling around in the room across the hall. She walked over to check on her mind to find that she was covering all of the mirrors in the room.
Oof. Oof.
Not today, say it. Not today. Okay. Mom, what are you doing? She asked. He can't come in here if I cover the mirrors.
Oh, God. No. Why is it always the reflections? It's the reflections.
Girl.
Me shattering and throwing out all of my mirrors tonight. I just bought 2 really expensive ones and I regret it.
It's okay. Okay, what do you mean? There's no one here. My mother-in-law began trying to take down the sheets, but her mom freaked out and asked her to stop. My mother-in-law recalled that she sounded truly terrified, so she let her be and went off to bed. All was quiet that night, and the next morning when his grandmother woke, she did not speak of anything odd. But every night right before bed, his grandmother did the same thing. She covered all the reflective surfaces in the room, which included a large television, a vanity mirror, and a full-length mirror on the back of the door. One night, they had invited several family members over to celebrate her mom's 89th birthday. It was an action-packed day. She was visiting with people she hadn't seen in years all day long. There was food, music, good conversation, and it went all day long into the evening. When all the guests had left, my mother-in-law walked into the living room to find her mom asleep on the sofa. She gently woke her up and ushered her quietly to her bedroom. Not thinking anything of it, my mother-in-law just went to sleep. In the early hours of the morning, she was startled awake by the sound of ear-piercing screams and the sounds of thrashing coming from across the hall. She quickly ran to the other room and threw the door open to find that her mom was struggling to get out of the bed. She ran to comfort her immediately and told her everything was okay. Her mom replied and said, "There was a man in my bed watching me sleep."
Oh my God.
Mother-in-law...
Oh my God. Oh no.
I hate it here. Okay.
In her bed?
In her bed. My mother-in-law assured her there was nobody in the room and to go back to sleep. A chill went down her spine as she realized that they had forgotten to cover the mirrors before they went to sleep. So all of the nights there were no issues. The one night she goes...
And takes the mirrors off.
And didn't cover the mirrors.
Oh my God.
Yeah. Okay. A few days before my mother-in-law was due to head back to the U.S., she booked a massage to relieve some tension before her long journey home.
I'm sure.
Me tonight.
Her neck and shoulders were probably so tense.
Should we go get a massage tonight? Because I was stressed.
Probably.
Okay. The masseuse arrived in the home and began prepping the room for the massage. When they got to talking about old wives' tales and supernatural experiences, the masseuse told her that she had always felt in touch with all things supernatural. And oddly enough, felt a strong presence in the house. Curious, my mother-in-law asked her to explain what she meant.
Right.
The masseuse went on to ask her, "You know there's a male spirit watching you through the mirrors, right?" I'm done.
The accuracy. No.
I'm done. I want to throw up. Okay. She then went on to explain that oftentimes souls become trapped in mirrors and in sinister cases can use it as a gateway into the world of the living. Happy Halloween, and don't forget to cover your mirrors before bed.
Lord knows. That's exactly what I'm going to do tonight. Every sheet, every blanket will be utilized.
Dude, what the crap? Isn't that terrifying?
I hate that. Full body chills. I don't like it. It's such a thing. It's like the story I read. It might have been last week or the week before of the girl that was skiing with the goggles and the reflection.
Yes.
Like, and telling you it's something about.
No, that. It was interesting because when I was like scrolling through stories, that I ended up picking this one, but there was one like a few down that in the title it said something about mirrors. And I was like, that's weird. These both say mirrors. Yeah. But like, is that a freaking thing? Because I don't need to look at myself.
It's a thing. It's also a photo thing. Also, this is a side tangent, but I threw a fall party this weekend. It was our 3rd annual. It's a thing that I do.
Yes.
Taryne couldn't make it. Taryne was sick.
I didn't feel
but
good.
A bunch of us ended up in the backyard, and I had like the fire going, and someone was talking about podcast, someone mentioned mine, and I was like, oh, now's the best time to listen if you're going to listen, because I'm constantly just promoting myself.
Yeah, of course.
I was like, we have a scary story season every October, and which led to us talking about scary stories. And fun full circle, I shared one of the stories that I had read last week, and this guy tells me this story, and he's like, oh, I've had 2 really weird experiences. One was terrifying, and he had photo proof of like this scary like lady staring at him through the window for hours. And he took a picture of her and showed me. I was so unwell. It was terrifying.
I hate that.
But he said when he was younger, him and a bunch of his friends went to a photo booth. He was in the photo booth, and he was holding a Capri Sun and like drinking out of the Capri Sun. And the back of the Capri Sun is kind of reflective. And so the flash goes off, and everyone starts freaking out because there's a legitimate face in the back of his Capri Sun. And we all had this huge conversation about like, is it because it was a photo? Is it because it was a reflective surface? And like, you can't deny it. Like, you see it, there's a man's face like in the back of the Capri Sun, which is so bizarre. But anyways,
I hate it.
There's something about reflectives and photos.
I hate it.
That's very unsettling, especially with the amount of photos that I take.
Us going through like all our photos.
Should I like print out all my photos?
Dude,
and look
I'm
at them?
gonna forget. I'm down at let's go move to Amish country.
That is literally how I lose my mind and I go crazy.
Oh my
also,
God.
That's how I sell the place I just got and leave.
Shh,
There's no way I can live alone if I see a photo of me and something's next to me. I can't.
Yeah, but that's not gonna happen.
You get it.
We are covered by the blood of Jesus. So
I'm also going to get a guard dog.
yeah,
a big one.
Today's episode is brought to you by Canva. Creating visual content is an essential part of what we do, but the creative process hasn't always been easy. There are times where I have an idea of what I want to do, but the technicality of following that through is just, it's very hit or miss,
Difficult.
you know? Yeah. But ever since we found Canva for Teams, it has been easy to collaborate and design with our team, which makes the whole process so much more creative and fun.
Canva for Teams is a design platform that makes it easy for anyone to create stunning content in any format, from social media posts to videos, presentations, and websites. The endless templates and premium fonts, photos, graphics, and videos add personality and edge to my team's content. With features designed for brand consistency, Canva for Teams makes it easy to maintain your aesthetic and add your logos, fonts, and colors to anything you create. Canva for Teams streamlines how we do social media too. We can plan, create, and share social media content directly to all of our channels from one place, and even schedule posts ahead of time, which is such a huge time saver for me, especially having multiple things to post for. Being able to schedule it and let it do its thing is game changing. Also, Canva for Teams has a video editor that's so easy to use with tons of filters, animations, and transitions that'll bring your group's content to life. I think I've said this every single time, but between my podcast, my YouTube channel, and my clothing company, I have used Canva every single time because I love their templates. Their templates are game changing when it comes to creating brand new content. Whenever you're kind of like stuck and not really knowing what to create, grab one of their templates and that'll at least get the juices flowing for you to create something amazing.
Collaborate with Canva for Teams. Right now, you can get a free 45-day extended trial when you go to canva.me/advice. That's canva.me/advice for a free 45-day extended trial. Canva.me/advice. So usually when you do a to-do list, Ash, do you ever schedule in fun free time?
I don't.
Well, with Best Fiends, you can. How often do you let yourself have some hard-earned fun? Whatever the answer is, you deserve way more. Add some joy to your daily routine with Best Fiends, the puzzle adventure game you won't be able to put down.
Best Fiends is a free-to-download mobile puzzle game with thousands of exciting levels for new adventures and challenges every time you play. There are dozens of unique fiends to collect, so you can customize your team of fiends to defeat menacing slugs. Power up your favorite fiends to new levels for even more powerful survival skills and watch them transform as they get stronger. With offline play, you'll never be stranded without fun, even if you lose your internet connection. And that's why I love Best Fiends the most, because there have been multiple situations where I've had no Wi-Fi and I've been bored out of my mind. Specifically, I'm thinking planes, sitting on the tarmac. And I had Best Fiends to play, which is amazing. I'm now on level 75, so y'all better catch up.
Girl.
Catch up. Best Fiends has brand new events and challenges pop up all year round, so you've always got a chance to earn exclusive in-game items, characters, and rewards.
You've earned your fun time. Go to the App Store or Google Play to download Best Fiends for free. Plus, earn even more with $5 worth of in-game rewards when you reach level 5. That's friends without the R. Best Fiends.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and get into my story now. This one is titled, My Real Life Home Alone. Dear...
Is this a real story?
Yes.
Honestly, I welcome it.
Yeah.
Actually, I might take that back.
Dear Taryne and Ash, my name is Ella, and yes, you can use my name. I love when we get a name. She writes, I am an Enneagram Type 3. I have been listening to your pod from the very beginning and love every episode, but I'd be lying if I said that the October series wasn't my absolute favorite.
You know,
everyone says the
really
same thing. All I'm hearing is we should start another podcast.
I mean, that's
just
what
scary
I'm
stories.
hearing. I'm hearing that y'all want more. So I'm not joking. Like, we hear it every season, but this season it's been like deafening.
It's been
so
DMs, it's been emails, it's been a lot of like comments on posts. Like, you guys love this stuff, and I love that you love it too.
Yeah, I will say, like, we definitely hear you, and we've been brainstorming what that looks like. So just stay tuned. Stay tuned. Follow us on Instagram for sure. Because well, I mean, we're brainstorming, that's all I gotta say.
Continuing. Every year I have debated sending the story in, but this year I finally decided to do so. Thank God. Thank God, Ella. It's about time. So even if you guys
Thank you for reliving your trauma for our entertainment purposes.
For our entire UA family. So even if you guys don't read it on the pod, I'm still hardcore fangirling that you guys might even see it. If you do read it, please feel free to cut any of it out to shorten it. I completely understand. Although you may not read this whole thing, this part of the pod, I truly want to commend you both for being so open about your faith journeys and for living authentically both on and off camera. You both truly inspire and encourage me and show me that it's okay to be me and to be a Jesus lover. I love that. I love that. Okay, I know you read dozens of intros like this, but I hope that you both realize the incredible impact that you have. Now, on to my story, ... I am a proud Italian, but that means that every family event is filled with people I have never met before that I must call aunt and uncle. At these events, it can get so loud that you need to wear earplugs just to hear yourself think. So
my family's so small, like I can't even imagine what that would be like.
Yeah, it's so funny. We had the fall party, and I had so many people. I think I had like 40 people at the house, and my voice was sore afterwards.
Because you have to talk louder.
Because you were just talking louder. And it's so funny. Like, that's what a lot of family events
Well, and Italians are known for being like loud and energetic.
Enthusiastic. Yeah.
I'm a little Italian, so that makes sense.
She continues, so at Thanksgiving, when 45 of us all cram into a 3-room, 1-story home, some of my cousins and I sneak out of the house and see how long it'll take before anyone realizes that we're even gone. Because none of us are crazy rebellious, when we sneak out, we normally just play some form of manhunt or hide and seek. And that particular year, I was up first to count. After 30 seconds go by, I open my eyes only to find someone staring at me from down the street. They were pretty far away, but I could tell even from there that it was a balding man who was wearing all black. Since it was Thanksgiving and many family parties were happening at that time, who knows, it may have been one of my newly introduced aunts and uncles. I didn't really think much of it. However, right before I go to look for the others, he cocks his head and gives me a slow wave.
Not the hard... Wait. What am I saying? Not
English.
Not the head cock.
Yeah.
No, Ashley, that's the worst
I know.
part.
That's the worst part. It's always the worst. It's the fact that he stood still, slowly cocked his head, and waved.
Where is she? She's in the house?
Sorry. So she snuck out of the house because they were having a big family reunion. She's playing hide and seek with her cousins.
I thought she was asleep.
No. So she's standing there. Probably, I'm picturing this. I could very well be wrong. I'm picturing counting. She's outside of her house with her eyes closed, just standing there counting to 30.
And he appears while her eyes are closed.
Yeah, but he's far away. He's not like right in front of her, but he's far away.
I don't know why. I think I blacked out for a second and I thought she was asleep.
You know what? I've done that before too. I've been like,
I usually can tell. You have a very distinct.
I have zero.
I'm not
poker
listening
face.
to you.
I have zero
face.
Poker face. I need to work on that.
But like,
I wonder if there's classes for that.
Maybe.
Tangent. We're bringing it back to the story.
I was like, wait.
Everyone's like, he cocked his head. Yeah, keep going.
They're like, hello, balding man.
Yeah. I'm a pretty charismatic person who's not easily scared. So at first, this didn't strike me as odd. I waved back to him politely and began to search for my cousins. Nothing else happened that night, and I had almost forgotten about the man until the next few weeks, odd things start to happen to me. One time in particular, I was out late shopping by myself at a strip mall as I needed to buy some of my family's Christmas gifts. As I was leaving one of the stores, a man comes up and holds the door for me. I was planning on walking down to another store and continuing my shopping, but as I'm walking away, I hear the man whispering into his phone. I couldn't make out most of it, but I do hear him say the word, she. I look out into the parking lot and see that there's a large white van parked in front of the store with its engine running.
Oh, God.
At first, I thought I might be a little paranoid, as I am a huge fan of true crime podcasts and shows, but then I turned back to look at the man. He's no longer on his phone. Instead, he's just staring at me as I walk down the sidewalk. He lifts his hand, smiles, and gives me a slow wave.
Ew. Is he bald?
She doesn't write that.
Okay.
It was then that I remembered Thanksgiving and the balding man who cocked his head and gave me a slow wave. I quickly say a prayer in my head and call my mom. I make sure to verify very loudly so that the man can hear me that she has my location and is expecting me home within the next 30 minutes. Then I sprint to my car, being sure to check underneath, slam the door shut, lock it behind me, and as I'm driving home, I told my parents, who both seemed very concerned about it, but I told them that it was probably all in my head and wasn't a big deal. Nevertheless, they contacted the mall security, and for the next 2 weeks, things again seemed to go back to normal. Little did I know the worst was yet to come.
Oh, God.
Later that month, my brother and I were told that we would be spending a few hours with my cousins at their house while my parents went out to dinner with my aunt and uncle in the city. This was not abnormal, so we happily obliged. As any concerned parent would do, they told us to lock all the windows and doors, not open the door for anyone, and call them with any problems. However, it was a dark and snowy night in December, and our parents were going to be at least 45 minutes away. Even if we needed them, it would still take them quite a bit of time to get back. However, this was the least of our worries. The snow was dusting the window panes, and our dreams of having a white Christmas seemed to finally be coming true. We had been decorating gingerbread houses in their kitchen for about an hour, getting sticky fingers, eating way too much cheap icing, and decorating tiny cookie houses, when all of a sudden, a loud, obnoxious ring penetrates through the classic Christmas jingles. It was their house camera's alarm system. Something was too close to the house. Probably just a deer, nothing to worry about, I'd say. Although we were all a little shaken up, my older cousin and I didn't want to freak out the little kids, so we continued decorating as if nothing had happened. Yet it's important to point out that my aunt and uncle live in a beautifully renovated home on a horse ranch in the rolling hills of Pennsylvania, so it is very odd for them to have an unexpected visitor. Boom, 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 I hear a knock on the door. Someone's at the door, my younger cousin says, looking up at us with half confusion and half terrified eyes. Just ignore it. We aren't allowed to answer the door, I say. They will go away once they realize we're not coming. And that's when I hear it. Twist, twist, shake, shake, thud. This wasn't a neighbor with good intentions. This was an intruder. Someone was trying to break in.
Oh my gosh.
I quickly run to check the cameras, and what I saw terrified me. There was a man at the door in an orange construction jacket, but otherwise in all black, and he was trying ferociously to open the locked door.
What the heck?
I immediately kick into fight or flight mode, looking for weapons and places to hide, but their open concept kitchen was surrounded by windows on all 3 sides, so there wasn't too much hope for hiding. I quickly grab a sharp knife and yell at my cousin that everyone needs to hide behind the counter. But let's be honest, my teenage self with a kitchen knife would never compete with this man outside. My younger cousins are in tears, crouching behind the counter and trying to call our parents, but by now the snow was coming down very hard and none of our phone calls were going through. We were completely and utterly alone. At that moment, the man outside looked up at the camera, immediately stopped his effort, and decided to start walking around the house looking for an open window. He finally made it to the kitchen and was peering in all of the windows. And I recognized him. It was the same man from both the other times.
Okay, I'm done.
The bald man waving slowly at me across the street, and the man holding the door open for me who waved at me again. When he sees me, our eyes lock, and he gives me the most blood-curdling smirk I've ever seen. He waves and then starts pounding on the glass, obnoxiously trying to break it, calling out things like, "Santa's here, and I know what I want for Christmas."
I'm done.
I was quite literally frozen in fear. By the grace of God, the window holds up, and my older cousin is able to go and press the button on the alarm system that triggers the police to come. Within 5 minutes, they've arrived, and they're taking him away.
Oh, he was still there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank God.
They then tell us that our parents have been alerted and are on their way home. It wasn't until many years later that my parents told me that the man trying to break into the house had already been on police records. He had had accusations made against him for breaking and entering, theft, and get this, child abduction.
What the heck?
Nowadays, my cousins and I are all happy and healthy and are all navigating high school and college lives. I have so many things I would love both of your advice on and a lot of embarrassing tearing it ups, but I know that this story was going to be long enough already. Be safe out there and trust your gut. I hope you both have an amazing Halloween, and although it's early, a stress-free Vlogmas. She writes, "Sincerely, Ella. P.S. On our Monday commute to school, I forced my brothers to listen with me to the pod, and I'm proud to say you guys have another male listener and fan to add to the charts." Cute.
I mean, thank you.
That's terrifying. I can't imagine like the feelings that happened when she made eye contact with him and she put together all 3 scenarios being the same guy. Like he'd been plotting this for a while and stalking her. And there were probably instances where he was stalking her that she didn't even know about. She just happened to see him those 2 times. For him to have found that house, that wasn't even her house. That was her aunt's house. That's crazy. Like a lot of thought went into that.
Ew. I hate it so much.
Oof.
I hate it so much.
Oof. Full body chills.
But see, this is why, like, you have to train your kids to, like, fight for themselves. You have to weapons, like...
Yeah. But can we take a moment to appreciate Ella? Like when he held the door open for her and she got that sick feeling and saw the van. I love that she called her mom, yelled out loud that she was on her way home, be there in 30 minutes, and made sure she said where she was, checked under her car before getting in. Like those are all like really smart moves on her part and for being so young.
Yeah. But that's why, like, it's so funny because I always have this like battle within myself because I appear very non-friendly and rude when I'm out in public, especially when like a male looks at me. Mm-hmm. And it's not my nature. Mm-mm. I'm a very friendly person.
You're the kindest, most loving, sweetest person, Taryne. You are. But strangers don't know that.
But No, but I have a very intense side that I can portray. And it's just so sad because if someone tries to talk to me, if someone's walking in the same direction as me, like I will give them a look like you better back up, you know?
It's just
and it's
I
so
see
sad.
you. I see you look and I will fight.
I know.
And it's good
so
for them to
sad.
know. But that's the thing. That's the thing that they always say is child abductors and people that are looking to do harm are looking for people that aren't paying attention. They're looking for people that are super sweet, that aren't, on the defensive side. And I think it is important. It's hard for people like me that are a little more quiet, reserved, and like shy. But like you should make eye contact with everyone that comes your way, even if you're just dealing with like a pickpocketer. Yeah. Like you should like make sure everyone knows that you see them and you are taking mental note of like their face. Yeah. Like I see you. If you touch me, I'm going to be like,
that's
hi.
why you carry a knife.
Yeah.
At all times.
Pepper spray.
I hate it. I hate the world. I'm like
dark times.
I just want to like take everyone I love and move to like a remote area where we can just have our own safe little community.
I mean, yeah, 100% agree with that.
Until one of us just turns into a murderer, because apparently it just happens. Why?
Why? Did you ever finish the Dahmer series?
No, I've watched I think like 2 episodes, 2 or 3.
Intense. It was pretty intense.
It is very intense, and I have to be like in the right. I've been trying to be a little more protective about that. Like even on the way here, I started listening to a Crime Junkie episode, and I just felt in myself, I was like, this is not like the right space.
I've said this before, but I had to stop listening to a lot of podcasts.
Yeah. Not ours, of course.
Not ours, of course.
Unless after today's episode, maybe.
But like there's some like Crime Junkie doesn't really give me spooks, like any scary feelings. My Favorite Murder I still listen to, but there's some that are just so detailed and in my opinion a little unnecessarily detailed that I can't listen to anymore. Yeah. I just can't.
I think too, just like my mental state, like I can feel when I am a very paranoid person, but it's intentional now. Like when I walk to my car, I'm looking everywhere. I have something in my hand in case I need to defend myself. When I'm opening my door, I'm watching the reflection to make sure no one's approaching me from behind. Like that's how I'll always be, because like now that I know there's like evil out there and like what certain that's why I listen to those, because I'm listening for how do these women, and it's sad because it's mostly women, get like attacked, like how are they approached, because I want to prepare. But there's a difference from that and then where like if someone even walks past me, I'm like startled and my heart's racing. So I just like can tell within myself when I'm like it's too much, like you need to chill out.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
Woof, man.
Oof. Well, thank you guys so much for your stories.
Yeah.
I really quickly, before we get into the dad joke and the positivity, just want to say that if you are sitting on a scary story, or you know a scary story, or someone with a scary story, it is still, believe it or not too late to submit it. We still have so much time. So please take this time to write us the most detailed, even the longest. Like go ahead, like go for it. Send us a long email with the full story, and we might read it on the podcast because it's spooky season, and that's what we're here for.
Yeah, we are. Okay.
Let's do it. I already know what's coming.
Let's do it. What happens when pumpkins drink alcohol?
Spiked. Pumpkin spiced. Pumpkin spiked.
They get smashed.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, damn it. Good guys, one. If you made it to the dad joke, you already know we love you the mostest. Be sure to follow us on Instagram and watch us on the YouTube. Again, I already said it, but if you have a scary story for us, submit it. We need this content, actually. So send it in, and we'll talk to you guys in the next episode. Enjoy your spooky season.
We love you.
Bye.
We're praying for you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Today's episode episode is brought to you by Indeed.
Indeed is the hiring platform where you can attract, interview, and hire all in one place. Don't spend hours on multiple job sites looking for candidates with the right skills when you can do it all with Indeed. Find top talent fast with Indeed's suite of powerful hiring tools like Indeed Instant Match, assessments, and virtual interviews. Hate waiting? Indeed's U.S. data shows over 80% of Indeed employers find quality candidates whose resume on Indeed matches their job description the moment they sponsor a job. As you guys know, I have a small business of my own, and when it came to hiring members, it can get really stressful and it can get very, chaotic when it comes to finding exactly what you're looking for in an employee. The thing I love most about Indeed is that it makes hiring all in one place super easy. You don't make your candidates jump through hoops. Indeed's virtual interview tool means that there's nothing to download. Just click and talk.
Indeed knows when you're growing your own business, you have to make every dollar count. That's why when you sponsor a job, you only pay for quality applications from resumes in our database matching your job description. Visit Indeed.com/unsolicited to start hiring now. Just go to Indeed.com/unsolicited. Indeed.com/unsolicited. Terms and conditions apply. Cost per application pricing not available for everyone. Need to hire? You need Indeed.